Hi everyone, welcome to Conversations with Miss T, and that is me. Today I am having a conversation with Lukhanyo Bele. Lukhanyo is currently based in Europe, in Austria. He is a musician, an actor, and a filmmaker. He currently has his latest film out, which is titled The Ground Under. It is so exciting. Check it out on Showmax. Guys, thanks again for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy this.
I believe that I'm a kind person, which leads to being affectionate towards other people as well.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, man, I just love people, and I try to stay away from negativity as much as possible.
Same. Yeah. I'm like a huge optimist.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm totally the same. I don't deal well with with negative energy.
I'm glad there's people like me because sometimes I feel like I'm the weird one. And then my friends are like, "Why are you so happy all the time?" I'm like, "It's a new day. Let's enjoy
Yeah, right.
it."
I can't. I can't. Yeah, yeah, no, I can't. I need positive energy around me. Like I can't for sure.
Okay. What are you doing in Austria, dude?
Is it okay if I drink my coffee while we talk?
My tea. Yeah. Same mugs.
Okay, great.
Hey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, so I live here now. I live here in Austria. I think I've been living in Austria for the past actually more than 10 years now. Obviously flying back home twice a year if I can afford it. Um, like I'm going home now in April again for my birthday actually because my birthday is in April. But yeah, I've been living in Austria for a while now for career purposes and for personal purposes. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it like? How's it different from SA?
How is it different from SA? I mean, I first of all, it's cold. It's cold out here.
Right.
It's freezing out here. Like I find myself just walking around with the whole wardrobe on me, like. "Ugh." But it's I don't know. Like socially, I think like people here are very closed-minded and very to themselves.
Right. I
They
get
don't yeah they don't really associate or they're not very approachable like South Africans are.
I
You
get
know,
it.
we
I get it.
yeah, we are
Sorry.
very approachable. Like you
Yeah.
can like you shout at somebody two streets down there, and you guys have a full-on conversation while there are like houses in between and other people in between,
Right.
and nobody cares. If
I
you do
think,
that here, people think you're crazy. Like, they run away from you.
yeah, I think
So
that's what I miss about South Africa, like Ubuntu that we have.
right,
Yeah,
it's people are very unapproachable here, like, and everything is very, it's like within its rules. You if you don't stand on the right side of the escalators for people to
first
pass on the
person in the
left,
world. Yeah.
people are gonna be on your case. You know what I mean? That kind of life is here.
Let me ask you a
um
question. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever done this? Have you ever went past a group of people and said hi?
Here,
Yeah.
um probably, yeah,
And
a
then
couple
you
of
get
times.
stares, right? Like people are like,
Oh yeah, for sure,
don't know
for
you,
sure.
right?
I've done that a couple of times, but then sometimes people greet back. Sometimes they're like, "Hey man," yeah. Sometimes they greet back. Sometimes they don't. They're just like, "Who is this?"
First time, because I mean, I know for sure I would have gotten into trouble with my grandma if I hadn't done this. I was walking down the road here and then I saw like a group of elderly women, right? And then I waved and I greeted respectfully, and then they just turned and then they smiled and then they were like so
Right,
awkward about it at the same time. And I was like, oh snap, okay, this is not essay. Let me just not do that. So then I
right,
stopped, I
right,
stopped doing it. But then they started saying hi to me. I was like, okay, now we're friends. That's great.
right.
Yeah. So I wanted to know what your experience was because I'm sure it's awkward for other cultures, right? That thing you see people on the road and you have to greet them.
Well, that, how do I put it? Um, when I do that, it's not necessarily about what the response is going to be. It's for me.
Hmm.
Like I feel better when I do it. You know what I mean? I feel like, yeah, this is how I was brought up. So Why not just say hello to people? If they don't say hello back, that's their own problem. So I've never taken it into consideration why people don't greet back, or it's because people don't know, it's a different culture. But also when I do it, I feel like, okay, I haven't lost the sense of myself since I've been here for the past 10 years.
Right, I
So I'm
like.
going to continue saying hi to strangers even if they don't say hi back, you know?
Yeah, it's so funny. Now I work with my friend. Like we've been friends since SA, and then we moved here, and we found each other here. So now I would see her in the hallway, and I'd be like, "Hello," and sometimes she's minding her own business, and then the South African in me would be like, "Yeah, bulisa."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Like, hey, hey, what the hell?
Yeah.
What's that?
What tendencies have you carried with you?
Here,
Yeah, to there. Yeah.
everything. Everything. I haven't lost the sense of anything. I don't like I don't know. It's not even a proud Xhosa thing. Like because I'm Xhosa. It's just that I speak my language here 0% of the times. Like none of the times. You know what I mean? So every chance I can get to just like mock somebody who doesn't understand in my language, I do it.
You're so mean,
I do
bro.
it. Because I don't, it's not even mean. It's like I don't want to forget it, and I miss it, man. And I just miss it. Like I when ish ayaziqhela kodwa lo mlungu yazi lo mlungu. Like just mumble to myself all the time, every chance I get. So it's yeah.
That's
I took everything. No, I don't have specific things. Like I took everything.
okay. That's good. At least you still have, like you said, you still have a sense of yourself. I like that. Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
Okay, so you're a lot of things. You're an actor, you're a filmmaker, you're are you a music producer as well? I know you're a musician.
Um I could say I do have a hand in producing as well, yeah.
Okay, how did it all
But I
start?
wouldn't call myself a music producer. So
Oh yeah, but who produces your music?
my music is produced by a friend of mine called Christopher. He's a Spanish architect, actually, partly musician as well. And yeah, he produces my music. His name is Cristobal Miluilamas. He's from Spain, and yeah, we work together. But now he's back in Spain again, and he's my producer. Yeah, he's my producer.
Okay, does he get the Afrobeat vibe to it? Because that's what that Celebrate is, right? Like it's like an Afrobeat.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's what the song is. Well, I think the reason he's getting the feel of Afrobeats, it's because this the Spanish music is very close to it.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
got that nice rhythm to it, and me being African and loving Afrobeats, so when we sat together and we spoke about it, it they were just not far from each other. They were just not far at all from each other because they have the same feel and I have the same feel. I was even thinking of shooting maybe the music video in Spain. He invited me to go and shoot the music video in Spain, but because of the pandemic, I couldn't.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But I like the idea that you have, by the way. Do you want to talk about
Yeah.
that, or is it still like under carpet, or for the music
No,
video?
no, we can talk about it. We can talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. When I saw that, I was like, "This is exciting! You're getting people involved in your project." Yeah. Hmm.
Definitely, definitely. It's so as you know as well, we just recently put out a call for. We actually shot parts of the music video in Austria already,
Okay.
and we have the footage. But then I felt like, nah, I'm a bit selfish if I would release the video only with myself in the video. That's a bit selfish because the song says nothing about men and me. I'm the musician, sure, but the song is I wrote it and recorded it in celebration of women. So to not have women in the video is kind of like, what's the use of doing a song like that in the first place?
Right. Right.
you know
Mhm.
and then that's when I decided to pull out the call that no, man, this song needs to be filled up with independent hardworking women, to be shown around the world wherever the video is going to be, that we exist, especially with everything happening with like equal rights and gender-based violence, and in South Africa, all those kind of things. We need to see women in the video, and that's when I decided, to put out the call and look for independent women who would like to either shoot with their 4K cameras or 5K cameras at home or in their workspace, to sort of, not do anything, not dance if they don't have to, just show who they are. They are, their power behind their womanhood, and the leading women of this world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they have, I think women sometimes, because of the responsibilities that we pick up as we grow older, we tend to lose our womanhood, the essence that we carry. So I'm very
Right.
excited about your video because I think it's going to show that. And I think I'm more excited about the diversity that I will see in the music video.
Exactly. Yeah. We
Yeah,
have like, we have you in Taiwan. We have some African women, men dressed in traditional like African attire. We have one of my colleagues just told me that he found a dancer yesterday and two more dancers. We have a few people, a few women wanting to be in it. And I remember when I asked my graphic designer to help me design the poster. On the poster, he didn't mention any, like he wrote, um, I mean, which actually the text came from me in the first place. But then when I read it before I publicized the poster, it only featured like social media people, models, and I looked at it, I was like, no, this is wrong. There's why are there no women cooking by the fire? Why are there no, food stands of women just sitting down in food stands? Why are there no people selling at the taxi rank?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's also business. That's also leading women. We don't need models. We don't need, like the 1.2 million followers on Instagram. We don't need that. We need real people,
yeah.
you
Real
know
relatable people.
right, real relatable people, to so that everybody can see themselves in that woman,
Right.
or even the younger ones upcoming say, man, I wish I could be there, when I would like to do that, so, and we changed it and made the call out to all normal. I'm not going to say, yeah, okay, Instagram influencers are not normal, but like all normal, also underrated work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. And I think if I was in South Africa, then it would have been easier to include my students. But here, because of the cultural difference, I don't think I can do that.
Definitely.
And I would have
Yeah.
loved to. I would have loved for you to see how cute my kids are. Anyways,
Yeah. Right. Right.
yeah.
No, I believe you. I believe you. How old are they?
Um, grade 1 and 2. What is that? 5, 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5, 6 year olds are still very cute, but they're growing now, especially the grade twos. They're like little
Yeah.
men and women.
Do
It's
they do they understand what you would like? Do they understand, or do you speak their language as well?
To some extent they do, but then as a native English speaker, you tend to sometimes speak very fast, and then they look at you and go like, what did
Yeah, right. Yeah.
you you're like, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I
Right.
need to, yeah, yeah. And so you teach, what do you teach? Is that something you're comfortable talking about? I didn't know that about you,
Sure.
by the way.
Sure. Hey, man, I do a lot of things. Sometimes like I overwork myself. Um. So there's this program that we're doing in Austria, supported by a language school, which is in a city called St. Polten. And we go around schools as English natives in Austria because it's in demand. And we sort of do intensive English project weeks. And these project weeks include a bit of grammar if needed in the school. They include theater, music, drama, script writing, creative writing, photography, film. So anything that is basically needed from that school for that 5 days. We spend that 5 days with those students, and we sort of, drill them in whatever that school wants us to drill the schools in, like those students in, and so, yeah, privately sometimes then I teach my students online with the same thing, whether it's grammar or just vocabulary or just like writing or those kind of thing, but focused on a specific topic, whether it's drama or whether it's music, whether it's movie, whether it's theater, whether it's
How
yeah.
long have you been teaching part-time?
Uh, plus 8 years more, I
Oh,
think.
okay. All right. I get it. I get it. What
Or
language?
the teaching became more of of a a fallback thing when, especially when the pandemic started, that I couldn't shoot a film, I couldn't do anything. Finances were becoming hard, and then I was like, okay, no, I mean they were not becoming hard, but I, I couldn't afford things as much as I did when there was no pandemic. So then I decided, okay, you know what, let me just do this teaching thing. But it's not my full time thing. My full time thing is all the other stuff.
Yeah, all the other stuff. Yeah, a billion of
All
them.
the other stuff. Yeah.
What language do they speak in Austria?
They speak Austrian, which is German, I would say. I mean, Germany speaks German, but Austrians speak Austrian, which is also consists of like different dialects, like we have back home. You have the high dialect, you have the city dialect, you have the village. So yeah, they have different dialects as well. Yeah.
Do you find yourself picking that up?
Oh, I know it already. Yeah,
How do
yeah,
you
no, I know it already. I
Hi,
I was
hello. My name is so and so in Austrian.
Also, hallo, ich heiße Lukhanyo, ich komme aus Südafrika und ich wohne in Wien. Yeah, no, it's
Namaste.
been a while. It's been a while, and
Okay, cool.
I've been pretty talented with languages. I've been blessed that way. So
Okay, so I know you speak Xhosa, and then there's like, the Xhosa sisters, Zulu and Ndebele and stuff. So you understand those for sure. English, what else? And Austrian now. What other languages do you speak?
um um and proudly say Afrikaans. It's not my favorite language. Um yeah, and Sesotho, Tswana, um yeah, like German, Austrian, uh yeah, yeah.
That's great. That's exciting. I think South Africans are multilingual because if you can speak the South African native languages, that's like what, how many? Like nine of them? Nine, 10, 10 of them?
Yeah.
Then, yeah, you're there. Okay, cool. Um, what made you write the track Celebrate? Like what inspired it or who inspired it?
Um, my family, man. My sisters, my family, my girl too. It's just women. Women work hard, and we don't. And I think I'm a person who grew up around a lot of females, including my mother as well. Um, I mean, also the male parts of the family were there. They were present. They're still present. But I grew up around a lot of females, and me personally, I'm here now because of the support I mostly got from females in my family, you know,
Mm.
and doing things for me, and not that, like I said again, not that the father figures were not that. No, no, they were there 100%. But I feel like, but it's not that I know that through my experiences, most of the people that did a lot of things for me were females. And so when I got the beat, um, I sort of felt the beat like, okay, this is a celebration song. Before I even knew what theme or what I want to write about, I just felt the beat and was like, it's a celebration beat,
Yeah.
you know? And then the theme wasn't even that hard to find, because the whole EP, all four songs, I knew they were going to be focused on women, all four of them.
Right, right.
And if you listen to them, it's taking out a girl. One is celebrating a girl. One is written from a perspective of a girl who is hurt by a guy. So all I knew, all four songs were going to be about women. And then the celebration thing came about, and I was like, okay, it only fit that I should just write a song to celebrate women.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
it
you
was
have
inspired from the females in my life. Yeah.
Right. So you have 4 songs in your album Rise, right?
Yeah,
That's the title of
yeah.
the
At the
album.
moment, I'm working on two more. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have 2 more and then release the album.
It's well, the EP is already out there. It's out there already to be listened to. Not just Celebrate, but all songs are out there.
Yeah, I heard. I
Um,
listened to 2. I really like them. Yeah.
yeah. So the whole EP is called The Rise, and with 4 songs: Take You Out, Celebrate, No More Games, and what's my fourth song? I forgot the name of my fourth song.
Take You Out, Come Closer, Celebrate, and
Come
no,
Closer.
I wrote it down.
Right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's already out there. It's already out there. And then the 2 songs that I'm working on, they will be then singles. There'll be a single coming out of which I don't even know the titles of the songs yet, but I have the rhythms, the beat. So yeah, they'll come out as singles.
Yeah, I'm very excited for you. I think you're doing a great job. And as Beyonce said, you're a true definition of a hustler. Of a hustler. Okay.
It's the definition of a hustler.
We
That's
just
me.
butchered the lyrics, by the way. I'm not really sure how the song goes, but I know it's.
Yeah, no, I don't think B is gonna mind. I don't think we're the worst people to do that.
Have you seen that meme that goes, "I sing what I hear. Don't ask me to Google lyrics."
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that.
It's Kevin Hart's
I
picture, and then it says, "I sing what I hear."
Yeah. No, man, there are some songs now to this day I probably used to sing as a child and sing now and go, oh man, that was terrible what I used to say. That was so bad. Like
I
it,
tell
it,
you
it
what.
had nothing to do with the song at all. I like probably it was saying oh God, and when I was a kid I said onions or something like that. Like it's
Let
something
me
like I
tell
don't know.
you this one. You're probably going to remember this one. Ashubedu, do, do, do. Ashu-
Oh God.
When I found out the real lyrics, I was like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah, no. Like we destroyed a lot of people's careers singing these things wrong. Like
Oh
just so
man.
bad.
Yeah, I think music-wise, you're doing great. I told you already, I like Celebration, and I wanted to ask you, but I wanted to ask you because I have theme songs where I film my interviews when I release them. So I wanted
Yeah.
to, if it's okay that I use Celebration,
Oh,
because you use it
definitely.
a lot as like
Yeah.
as background music. Um, please, may I?
Yeah, definitely. Please go for it. For
Okay,
sure.
great, great. I'm very excited
Definitely.
about it. Yeah. Um,
Absolutely.
Now I watched your stage performance, right, where you're reciting the speech by Ken Sarah Weaver. Tell me
Yeah.
about that. How did it start, and like how's the journey, and what is the inspiration about behind that?
Um, so that was one of the plays I did in Freiburg, in a theater called Theater Freiburg in Germany. And this the South African writer Mr. Krotbaum came to Germany, and he was looking for an actor, a black actor here in Europe who could, I suppose who he actually could communicate on an understanding level, because like talking Zulu and in Xhosa, you can explain a lot of things better if we understand each other than in English, you know. And so and they call and the theater called me. Then I went to Germany and met everybody, and the play is called Crootland, and it's about this political activist called Ken Saro-Wiwa, who fought against the petrol company Shell, when they were extracting oil in Nigeria, and and a lot of people were just suffering from that. The air was polluted, the grounds were polluted, people were dying from the fumes and the gas leaks, and Shell was not doing anything about it. So and these guys decided to sort of form some organization to fight against Shell, which actually went international, and the whole world knew about it, and they started writing articles about it and started protests about it. And Ken Saro-Wiwa was one of those guys who who actually stood up in against Shell and tried to fight them to it, to have better conditions, or even at least have the people where where this is being extracted from, at least benefit from all what they are getting, like financially, or because it was destroying their crops, so they couldn't even plant anything, you
Right,
know
right. It was so interesting to me. Now, I didn't know who Ken Saro is.
yeah,
Before I watched the video, and I had a question for you. Now, you guys, you have like a group of demonstrators behind you, right? As you're reciting, as you're walking onto the stage, and then people start leaving as you hit
right,
certain points in your speech. Then people start leaving, and now the first person
yeah,
that left the demonstrators was a white woman, and I was like, okay,
right,
what is going on? What is she doing? And so she went and she kind of like watched you guys, from a different view,
right,
and then she went through the crowd, and then she watched you again, and then she exited the stage. And I'm
right,
guessing she was offended, or
right.
said something that was eye opening, and then other people also started like leaving the group. Can you tell me about that?
So the in the story, there's these the Shell people, um who sort of um pretended to be supportive of the movement, but then at the same time they were still, they were still the Shell agents who were trying to destroy the movement. So that was the whole thing about it, that like, okay, and we needed more people to make the it's a stage, we cannot get like thousands of people to protest, so we needed more people. At the same time, she also had to play part of the Shell guys who were not supporting the movement at all,
Right.
to sort of watch from a distance, to report at what is happening now from the protesters' point of view.
Yeah, yeah. Did you
Yeah.
did you know anything about him before you did the play, or you found out more about him?
No, I actually didn't know anything about that guy until I had to, actually do some research, watch videos, listen to some interviews, and discover that there's a lot of, and that I discovered that there's a lot of, heroes that we don't know about out there.
It's
There's a
quite sad.
lot of people we don't know about out there,
Right,
and
right.
it's such a huge thing. It's such, and through, I mean, I have this thing, like when I also, this is something I learned when I was writing my films now, that you cannot unknow what you know, right? Once you know something, you know it. You cannot unknow it. And I'm glad that I know. I mean, some of the pictures and some of the videos that you watch during what happened with Shell in Nigeria and the excavation of this oil are pretty gruesome. People were burnt. People were like, they're pretty gruesome. So having to go through that research and find out all this information, at some point, I found myself playing this character, really crying in pain of thinking about what these guys actually went through, not just the character itself.
Right.
It was like just an image, like people actually live like this, people went through this, and we are busy with like Instagram photos, you know what I mean, whereas people actually are suffering, people are actually suffering,
Right, right,
you know.
right. Yeah.
But Tina, we're busy following celebrities that are posting Maseratis on Instagram and blah blah blah, which is fine, but I sort of retract from that now and try to focus on, obviously, on my success, but also bringing up people under my wing to be part of the success and teach them during the way how to be there. But also to focus on what matters, not what doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't know about him. I had to research about him after I read the script. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I did the same because your performance was actually quite moving. Great job, by the way. And I
Thank you.
think he was also like an activist, so he was fighting against what do you call this, like civil conflict. And I think
Right.
to do this because in South Africa as well we have tribes, and then some tribes feel more dominant than others. And then he was saying we are all Nigerians talking to his people.
Right. Yeah.
actually that's very important, because what is the point of us fighting against racism and then having these tribal wars? You know, it kind of doesn't make sense.
Right, right,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
So yeah, I listened, and I initially I thought he probably inspired you because he was also like, you know, a writer and an artist and stuff like that. But to hear you say it was something else that moved you, um, yeah, I
Yeah, definitely. And you know, he got executed for it. Because, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, you cannot fight an empire like Shell. You know, at the end of the day, they're probably going to win.
yeah,
So, but just the fact of knowing that you were, it's like, you know, that you were the voice of maybe 5 people or 10 people. It doesn't matter. You still stood up and did something. You know.
right. But I think you know, you just, because earlier you touched on something that once you see something, you cannot unsee it. And so I
Right.
think he saw something that moved him, that, you know, it was like it was worth the sacrifice for him. And we see
Yeah.
people, you know, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, who were actually prepared to
Right.
die
Right. Right. Yeah.
for their ideals. So I think maybe that's something that happened to him. He was like prepared to die for it.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Now, on a lighter note, well, not so light, your latest film, right? The Ground
Yeah.
and a
The
Funeral.
ground.
It's Mr. What is it? Mr. Stuckman.
Yeah.
Mr. Stuckman's funeral. That is hilarious. That
Oh,
is
you've seen it?
no, I just
The
watched the
trailer.
trailer. Yeah, I just watched
Okay.
the little clips that you guys put up. Now when I first saw it on your post, I didn't think anything of it. And then when I went and watched the actual trailer, I was like, this is hilarious. And it actually kind of wanted me to, you know, I just felt like I wanted to see more of it. What
Yeah.
happens? A man dies, right? And they have
Yeah.
to conduct a funeral virtually. You explain it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so lockdown hit, the actual lockdown, not the story now in the film, the actual lockdown, I think March 2000, no, yeah, 2020 was the first lockdown
Yeah, 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 yeah.
when the pandemic happened. Yeah,
Right,
2020
yeah.
was the first lockdown in March. And a South African filmmaker called Tim Green put out a call on Facebook looking for, you know, actors who want to collaborate in lockdown somehow, doing something, because nobody could do anything during the first lockdown.
Right.
That was like when Corona hit and the world was still shocked and blah blah blah. Um, and you know, he received a number of people, a lot of people wanting to be busy. And then I looked at the post and I was thinking, hmm, I don't. There's a lot of people already, and let me write a film too. Literally, I was like, wait, let me write a film. Um, so then I was like, okay, cool. Then I can motivate myself like that, right? I was
Yeah,
like,
to
okay,
get
cool.
stuff
What do
done.
I write?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you know, I take a book, my booklet, and I'm okay. What am I going to write a film about? Um, could you give me? Can you give me a second?
Sure, sure.
So then I was like, okay, what do I write a film about? Then I was like, okay, I'm a big fan of comedy, right? I was like, I wanna write a film that when people watch it in 10, 20 years to come, they don't feel sad thinking about Corona watching this film. So let me first of all, it's gonna be a comedy. Let me write a comedy. And then I was like, what could I write a comedy about? And I was like, what could be funnier than a family trying to conduct a funeral online? You know, I, I think that's never been heard of, right? So
Right,
hmm,
right.
let me see. We've done everything online. We've, you know, people have, I don't know if people, I think during the then I started watching videos of, you know, the lockdown videos from a lot of people. I saw birthdays, I saw, you know, proposals, I saw all these kind of things, but I didn't see a funeral. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna write a funeral film that's happening online. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, and that's how the idea came about.
Right.
Um, and then obviously it couldn't be a film without a proper story. That what could what needs to happen in it? Like, why is it a why? What's the story behind it? And the film was inspired by the British comedy and the American, well, the British comedy first, Death at a Funeral, and the American version as well.
With Chris Rock.
That is the, huh?
Chris, is it Chris Rock with Chris Rock?
Yeah, with Chris Rock, but the British version, I think it's better. Um, so and then I was like, okay, no, this could work. A family that has a lot of problems, and that's how the whole idea became about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And sorry to cut you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I think like my from what I saw, my favorite part was when the minister was trying to flirt with one of the family members, and I was like, oh, this is real awkward. Who's the
Yeah,
who,
no, it's a comedy, man, and um, in South Africa, we've sort of sheltered ourselves, and everything you see now in South Africa is the same. I'm no big filmmaker, I'm no big writer, but at some point in South Africa, even when I'm home, I get tired of watching TV because what I see are the same stories. But
storylines? Yeah.
somehow Americans have found a way to even show the most ridiculous things. Like, you're like, that's it. What? The not the serious things, but like their most ridiculous stories. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
For example, last night on TV, this high school where Kevin Hart goes back to high school film was playing now, and I'm thinking, I've never seen something like that back home. It's such a stupid story, but entertaining.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
get
I
it.
wanted to make my film ridiculous. I didn't want to make the whole in a box South African serious. I wanted to make something ridiculous. Why not?
What do you think is the reason behind that? Do you think something that's outside of the South African box does not sell in South Africa, and so then people, just kind of stick to the.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think, like, our market, our audience has been, has this. It's only a certain percentage of people that are open to a lot of things. But the older age is definitely focused on, like, the same thing, like Generations, or if it still plays. I heard that the legacy is actually stopping now. But it's only a few percentage of people that are willing to watch, I don't know, like Reno 911, something that's never been heard of,
Right.
or like these Asian films with subtitles, the crazy ones, or like some old Nigerian film. It's only a few percentage.
Yeah.
Everybody else wants the
I
wants the
said
South African.
you're right because
Yeah,
you remember that when the Crazy Rich Asians the movie came out, and that was a big deal here in
yeah,
because I'm in Asia, so it was a big deal here in Taiwan. And then I went home and I was trying to hype up my cousin. I said, "Hey, have you seen the Crazy Rich Asians?" And then she was like, "I think the title says it. I'm not gonna watch it." I was like, "No, come on, don't be like that." So I made her sit down and watch it, and she actually kind of, liked it. She's like, "Oh no, it's really
yeah,
good." So yeah, I guess it's great then to have platforms like Netflix, Showmax that would expose
yeah,
people to different, variety of
totally.
films out there. Hmm.
No, totally, for sure. It's so yeah, and then I also put out a call after I had written, the first 18 pages, I think. Um, and like, I got like over 300 responses,
That's nice.
people wanting to be in my film. Um, and I was like, that is insane. And the funny thing is, it wasn't even, you know, like upcoming actors, it was like professional actors. That was the surprise for me,
Mhm.
because I've written small things that never made it to, that were not mainstream, but like small things to keep to myself. But this was my first official mainstream film. So I was surprised. People, I mean, some knew me from acting, but like they didn't know me as a writer, you know. And I mean, I got very excited about it. And then the whole process then of trying to see where people live. Like, I asked them if they can send me, short clips like 15 seconds of where they live, because they are on lockdown. They have to shoot their film themselves. So me as a writer, I have to write a script that's based on where they live. Like, she's got a piano there, she's got this there, so that
Oh
I
yeah.
know, okay, now she goes to the piano, now she goes. Then that whole process happened. The then I received a couple of audition tapes, which was also weird because I've never been from the casting side of things, going through tapes and be like, I'm always the one sending audition tapes.
Right, right. Yeah.
Um, and then I picked my cast, and yeah, and it was pretty cool. And I think the youngest in my film, this is his first film,
That
and he
little
was
boy,
very.
right? He's the
Yeah.
neighbor. He plays like as neighbor's son.
No, so he's actually in the film in the same house as his father, Mike Stuckman.
Oh,
He's
okay.
supposedly in the same house, but because they lived in two different cities in South Africa, we had to make it like he's in his bedroom all the time.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. Yeah.
You know, so
Mhm.
he's the son of. Sorry, I'm just looking. Yeah, he's the son of Mike Stuckman. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He said something about being the neighbor, so I was like, okay, maybe he's just the neighbor. So how do people get hold of your film? I
Or
know
the
the mu
film. The film is currently streaming on Showmax Online.
Oh, sorry, say that again.
It's currently streaming on Showmax at the moment. So if you have a Showmax account, what I did is, after we gave the film to Showmax. Um, I don't have Showmax here. Obviously, they don't have it here, but I downloaded Showmax for like 14 days for free. I watched the film, and then I had to delete Showmax after that. So if you don't have Showmax where you are, you can download Showmax for 14 days for free, watch the film, and then yeah, if you want to carry on keeping Showmax, you can. But if not, then you can delete the account. So it can be watched on Showmax online for the moment. It's been selected to 2 film festivals.
That's nice.
I
Great
mean, that's
job.
insane. I didn't see that. I was just trying to keep busy, and and yeah, and we are looking at more platforms to show the film.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for that suggestion. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was also worried, like, then when you can go anywhere online. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then I got to my laptop. Actually, my whole family was here. So we made a movie night, and it started. I remember my mother-in-law saying, I thought this film was going to be boring because it's so long, but it's actually so entertaining. And she's not the film person. She would tell me that it's not hers, but
Yeah.
she actually enjoyed it. So to me, even the people that are not film people, to enjoy this, because the way I wanted to do it was, I directed it while I was in Austria, and it's a virtual film. So I wanted people to watch the film as if they are part of the Zoom meeting or the virtual platform that we created. So
Yeah.
they were watching it as if they could also say something in the during the funeral.
As an actor, were you not tempted to also take part in the film?
No, 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 no. I knew that I wanted to direct this film, so I knew that it was going to be too much for me to direct a film virtually, which has never been done. Everybody's at home. I'm directing this virtually, literally like this, and acting it. So I was like, nah, this one I'm writing it for people. But the
Mhm.
upcoming one, I'm definitely playing in it for sure.
Oh, there's another one coming. What is it? Tell us about it.
So I wrote a new film now, which is starting production, not production now, but it's an animation feature film, um, which I started writing, before the holidays, and it's it's gonna be a big one. It's very traditional. It's very African, and when I sent it to a very well-known South African producer who I cannot mention at the moment. She read it, and she was like, "Wow,